Hey everybody, it's Lisa and
Alan!
and we're gonna do a spoiler review of Shazam. We saw it a couple hours ago with our other friend, and we both really enjoyed it. And this is actually my third time seeing it because I enjoyed it so much the first time. Aaron, what did you think of the movie?
I think it was great and awesome.
That's it. I really liked how it had the heart, the comedy. There was a little horror, like scary stuff, but not too much. It was mostly a heart, like heartfelt, like comedy. So if anyone out there doesn't know Shazam, it's essentially this boy named Billy Batson who's in the foster care system, and he gets taken to this magical realm layer and meets this wizard Shazam, and he basically grants him the power to yell Shazam, and then that turns him into a superhero. And the actors in this movie are the guy who plays Billy as Shazam as the superhero is Zachary Levi. You might recognize him from Chuck and Tangled. I've actually met him, and he's really nice. And the younger Billy Batson is played by Asher Angel, who's from Disney Channel. And then Freddie, who's one of the foster kids, and is kind of like Billy's go-to, like, trainee for the superpowers, is played by Jack Dylan Grazer, who's in It, and he's been in a couple other things. And then Darla was played by Faith Herman, and those are the characters that I know, or the actors I know. And they all everyone did a very good job. The kids especially did really good in this movie. Who was your favorite character?
Yeah, what you meant?
Yeah.
The girl that goes off to college.
Mary. My top four are Shazam, so older Billy Batson, Billy, Freddie, and Darla. I thought Darla stole every scene she was in. She was really funny. There's like a couple lines like at the end of the movie when the Shazam family comes in, she like meets Santa Claus, and she's, a 20-year-old girl, but because she's a superhero, but she is still 7, so she gets like really excited about Santa, and it's a really cute scene. There's a couple interesting scenes that I thought were like kind of intense. Like, this is in the trailer, so when they're coming out of school, and it's like Freddie, Billy, and then everyone else, and the two kids that are the bullies of the movie come and like kind of like sideswipe Freddie with their truck, and then blame him for like the dent that they caused because they hit him, and then he kind of makes fun of them for that, and then they beat him up, and I'm like, it's really bad because it's like, you're gonna pick on a foster kid who happens to also be disabled. It's just wrong. And then then Billy ends up, they say something about like him not having a mommy or mom or whatever, and then that's when Billy turns around and like hits them, and then he runs, and that's a pretty intense scene. And then the scene where Billy meets his mom is pretty crazy because she essentially says that she didn't think she couldn't take care of him, and she just never looked for him. So at the beginning of the movie, when you first meet Billy, he's searching for his mom because when he was a kid, he got lost at a carnival, and then the mom never looked/found him, so that's how he ends up in the foster care system. So he spent like his life basically looking for his mom and never really found her until later in the movie. But what's your favorite, like, funny scene?
My favorite funny scene was like the girls like talking to each other.
Girls talking to each other?
Like with like I think like the funny scene is like people are like having fun.
Okay, the people having fun. One of my favorite, I have a lot of, it's a really funny movie. There's a lot of funny parts. But at the beginning, when Billy first gets his powers, they like get some money from this lady because like I think they scared her a little bit. And so of course, Billy looks like an adult, so they basically go to a convenience store and they buy beer because they're, Billy looks like an adult, so they don't, they can do it, and then they hated it, and then ended up going back in and getting like teenage food like pop, soda, and like Fritos and snacks like that. And also, there's this. So in the trailer, there's the part where there's like the robbers that come in and like they start shooting, and then they find out that Billy has is bulletproof. And that part in the movie is so funny because they're like, oh, you're bulletproof, and then they're telling the robbers to shoot him again, and then they're like, wait, we need to figure out if you're bulletproof or just the suit. So then they're like, and then the Freddy's like, shoot him in the face. So they shoot him in the face, but he's bulletproof, so it's fine. And then there's a few other scenes that are kind of funny. Like when they come home to the foster home, and Billy's not Billy right now, so like they can't like see the parents because they, it's not Billy. So they sneak upstairs, get into the room, and then Darla's there, and Darla's really cute, and like there's this whole little thing where Billy turns back into Billy, and they're like, and he's like, can she even keep a secret? And she's like, yeah. And then Freddy's like, no. What's your favorite like heartfelt scene?
My favorite when like he got put into a foster home.
So the beginning where he gets accepted into the family?
Yeah.
I think my favorite part is at the end of the movie when they're sitting around the table in the group home. And throughout the movie, Billy isn't really like wanting to be a part of this family. Like he's just so focused on finding his mom. And then once he does and basically finds out she didn't want him, is when he's finally like, all right, this is my real family now. And there's this part in the movie where the dad like goes like, all hands on deck, and they like pray or whatever. And at the beginning, Billy was like not doing it and like kind of like not wanting to have anything to do with them. And then at the end of the movie, Billy actually goes like all hands on deck, and it's kind of cute because the mom is like crying because like it's like she actually wants to be part of this family. And then but the other funny part is so when Shazam Billy is there, he's fighting the supervillain Dr. Savannah, and they're like, he's like, Savannah's like, give me your powers, because the whole movie is like Savannah trying to get Shazam's powers, and he like kneels down and is like about to give him, and then he remembers back when he first turned into Shazam how the wizard like opened his heart to him, and so then he ends up like lightning bullying the guy away, and then turning around to like marry Eugene, like all the foster kids, Freddie, Mary, Eugene, all those kids, and he's like hold on to the staff and say my name, and they all yell Billy because that's technically his name, and they're like no, and he's like no, the name that I say to turn into this, and then they all yell Shazam, and then that's when the older like adults come in to play the other Shazam, part of the Shazam family, and they like save the day, and then they show the scene at the end where everyone's back at the table. It's really cute. And then the ending scene is really cute too, where so Freddy earlier in the movie had told everyone in the school that he had known the superhero, and he's like, yeah, he'll be at lunch tomorrow. And then of course Billy, I think, was mad that or something and didn't end up showing up, and then he got beat up or whatever, and everyone's like, oh yeah, right. And then at the end, the other foster kids came to sit with him at lunch, and he's like, you're not at this period. And then Zachary Levi, as Shazam walks in, and is like, oh, you're my bat pal, and like he sits in, and then there's a little surprise that I won't spoil, but there's another little guest that appears.
Superman.
Okay, yeah, I guess. Superman appears too, but they don't show his face, they just show, like, the
body.
suit and the symbol. But it's a really good movie. Like, there's a lot of heart, but then there's a lot of comedy because it's essentially a 15-year-old kid playing is in a grown man's body. And they cast it perfectly because Zachary Levi is, like, he's even mentioned in interviews where he says, like, yeah, I'm a, you know, a grown man in a kid's body, like, or a kid in a grown man's body. Like, so he's kind of that same vibe of being a kid. And there's also a really funny scene when they're about to leave school to go do figure out his powers, and they have Freddy walk into the teacher's lounge to find like a grown-up's coat, and he comes out, he's like, really, you're gonna have a like disabled kid or whatever he says do the dirty work? And then Billy's like, well, you have that face where you like something about like, you know, people think you're up to something or whatever, and they go to the security guard, and the security guard's like, well, you can't have you have to have a parent physically here to check kids out. And so then Billy like walks away and like says dad, and then runs out and quickly, you know, says Shazam, and then Zachary Levi shows up like butting up the coat and it's like, you know, I'm here to pick up my sons, like, and it's really cute because it's like actually a 15-year-old kid. But then they do a whole training montage, which is really cool, and they find out all his powers, and he tries to fly. Doesn't really work out at that point, but later on he does fly. It's a very good movie, and I mean, I've seen it 3 times already, and it's hard. There's comedy, and if anyone's seen the movie Big, everyone's been saying it's big with superheroes, and it's basically that. And there's actually a big reference in the movie when Sam and the villain are fighting in the mall. There's a little reference to that movie and then so for anyone who doesn't, there's 2 end credit scenes that are really actually interesting. So the one at the end of like the first part of the credits is like to foreshadow like a sequel, and then the end one at the end of all the credits is just a really cute scene between Freddy and Billy as Shazam, and they were testing out if he could talk to fish, and it's kind of cute. Like, I've stayed all 3 times to see that part because it's just like adds to the funny. Do you like any other parts?
I like all of them.
Okay, what's your absolute favorite part of the movie?
My favorite part is of the movie is about like turning the kids turn into like super people.
Yeah, that's pretty epic how they all like say Shazam and they turn into the superheroes. And also, I kind of like, because like a lot of movies don't have a whole lot of background on the supervillain, but this movie actually starts off with Dr. Savannah, who's a supervillain. They show him as a young boy and his family background, and you kind of see why he ended up the way he ended up. And it's kind of like, you know, his family treated him like dirt, and no one believed in him type of thing, so he, you know, turned into the way he turned into. And there's actually, during one of the battles, where they're, like, Shazam's on one side, and then Dr. Savannah's, like, way on the other side. They're, like, a mile or so apart, and Dr. Savannah's giving his big evil guy speech, and they keep cutting back from his speech to Shazam, and he goes like, "What? Are you giving some evil guy speech right now? We're like so far apart, I can't hear you, blah blah blah." And then he kind of goes, "Screw it," and then they like collide, and it's just, there's a lot of references to like Batman and Superman in it, and Aquaman, I guess. Yeah, there's a lot of cute parts, but the part where Billy meets his mom, it just killed me, because it's like, why are you going to tell your kid that you basically do not want him? Is essentially what she said. Like, she couldn't raise him or whatever, so she just left him with the cops, because they could do a better job at taking care of him. So, but overall, it's a really positive, good movie, and it's like essentially like family oriented. Like, family doesn't necessarily always have to be blood. It can also, be family who you choose, because that's what this is like. Because even like Dr. Samaya at the beginning, like his family was blood, but they treated him like crap. Like, but with Billy, like once he accepts this new family, it's his family, but they're all really good. Except at first he was scared because Freddy kept like saying like, oh, it's like not good here, but then he's like, I'm just kidding, it's fine here. But and then they actually, so the two boys at the end are stuck on the Ferris wheel when it's like almost about to fall, and then Freddy as the superhero came in and like got them off, and then gave them wedgies because early in the movie they gave him wedgies, and then they even like seemed like, why are you giving us whatever wedgies is that? Yeah, I just love that part because it's like, well, right back at you because you did it to him. Like they obviously don't know that because they don't realize that it's Freddy, but they're all super talented actors. The kids are kind of blew me away. Like Jack as Freddy was perfect. He was comedy. He did the serious parts really good. Zach, he's a good actor. And then Asher, I think this was his first major motion picture movie, and to be a superhero movie, he did a very fantastic job too. I mean, I believed his scenes. Like, I even cried during the mom scene because it was like basically hearing that your mom doesn't want you. So, I mean, it was a very emotional scene. But overall, we both really enjoyed it. I mean, even after the movie, I asked her what her favorite part of it, and she goes, all of it. So it's like, okay. But, I mean, there's a few favorite parts for me, but overall, it's very good, well done movie. And I'm not like I don't know a lot of DC movies because I'm recently into the comic book, so I don't know much about the DC characters, but I've heard it's been really dark in the past. But this is definitely there's scary stuff in it with like the 7 deadly sins and stuff like that. But like overall, it's just lighthearted family comedy, cute movie. Any last thoughts?
None for me.
Okay. So yeah, overall, it's a good movie. So you guys should check it out. Thanks for checking this video out. Bye.